welcome to the Artist Coaching Podcast, the podcast for artists who are serious about their music career. What's
Whoa,
up?
is that a new slogan?
Yeah, I mentioned that last week, and I used it for the first time this week. Hey, there he is.
We have a new
Can you guys
slogan,
see me?
Jay Artway.
You are 5 seconds late, sir.
Can you guys see me?
Nope. Hey, there he is.
Hey,
Hey.
okay, we're all in the building right now.
Let's
I'm in the
go.
middle in my screen. I'm gonna.
I was late. I was held up by Ralph. Huh?
Held up by
Yeah,
Ralph.
we were talking on the phone, discussing
current
the
state.
upcoming the upcoming podcast. Yeah, I mean it's all we think about.
What were you guys discussing? You went behind my back.
If you do all the talking, Joey.
I haven't prepared. Renzo did some preparation. I'm just gonna follow it. So here we go. By the way, can you hear that annoying noise on the background?
No, I
you
just
mean
heard
you?
you talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, they're remodeling the building next to us, and it's like during the whole day.
Can you do that again because it's not clear to me what the noise is?
Anyway, live chat's filling up. What's up, Gerard Francis, Ben Singh, Johnny Mr. Smith, Ascenzo, Lion Harris, Melodramatic. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is to you. Hope you've all been well. How have you guys been?
Busy.
Busy?
I did 2 shows in a weekend, which is like a lot for me.
Hard work.
Are you okay?
No, I'm still recovering.
Do you want to
Okay.
talk about it?
Yes.
Okay, share.
I did Festival of Golf on Friday, right
With
up my
elves.
alley.
With Els.
With who else? Dutch celebrity. She
I
was there
also
too.
saw it. Like a real celebrity. This
A real celebrity, not some fake ass DJ.
ELS.
Yeah.
So that was very fun. I got to hit a ball next to the actual pros, and I got the applause, which was nice. So that was cool.
Was
and
that
then
an
on
applause?
Saturday,
Was that an applause as in thanks for trying, or
no, like actually like good results. Like they were like what a shot. So I can share
Okay.
I will share the video later.
Did they
I saw
say
it.
you're a very special boy?
Yeah, I got a sticker. A nice try. At least you tried. That was the feedback.
Exactly, like a participation trophy.
Participation.
Thanks for being here.
And then Saturday I did Orange Dance in Katwijk in Holland, and it was massive, like 8,000 people,
And a
and
kitty
they
hood.
actually enjoyed EDM, and I was like, this is it's coming back.
Is EDM back, bro?
Progressive is back.
Okay.
No, but it was really fun, really good production, and it was like an absolute joy to be able to have that in Holland. It doesn't happen that
it
much.
doesn't happen that often, aside for a couple of festivals. But I think the
No,
clubs
we
are...
played Oranje Dance last year. It's a really cool festival. They
Yeah.
have they know what they're doing. I'm actually
Yeah.
not sure for how long they've been doing it, but it's
I've never heard
it's
of
a
it.
cool festival. It's like this unheard gem.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
And the production is like super professional, and I think they do on the same stage a rock concerts coming week. So they kind of combine it. But it's really as an artist, you get backstage and everything's exactly prepared how you expect, and the production is working, and yeah, it's just very, very fun. I brought my parents and I brought 2 friends, so it was super super nice.
That's fun about playing in the Netherlands, that you can bring people easily.
Yeah, it's just cool to because
Now,
like
he says something and it's just spot on again. Joey, you're my hero, man.
It's like knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb today. It's
Yeah.
that
like
was such a
just
knowledge bomb.
flowing it out. Yeah, exactly.
But I think also it's always special when your whole rider is sitting there in the dressing room, like all perfect, and it still feels like, dude, do you really need that much? And especially when you bring people, you realize like, oh man, it is a bit much.
I
Huh?
do
You
need
know,
that much.
and for everybody who's listening and didn't do that many bookings, or maybe on another stage or level, I don't know how to say it, but hospitality is, it, to be honest, it's insane. Sometimes you feel like, dude, we're just normal people, and they say, what do you want to drink? And sometimes you just say, I'll have a beer, and they look at you like, you don't want champagne? Like,
Yeah.
no, I never drink champagne. I'm just a normal guy. But I do praise that. And of course, I'm not a touring artist, and Marlon is, and it's quite of hard work when you're always, or a lot of the times, on the road. And then it's really nice when they cater you so perfectly.
Can we chat? Can we clip that? Ralph, you literally said touring is also hard work, and I was like,
Yeah. What's happening?
hmm.
Oh, touring can be
By the
artwork.
way,
Huh.
talking about clipping, did you guys see the clip that Rob Pollard made from last week's episode? You probably didn't. Wait, let me share it with you. Um. Okay, wait. Screen. Let me just directly go into. Here we go.
My first thought would be that, but I'm a terrible actor. I actually gave this a go, and it just felt super inorganic and awkward.
Have you
Well,
tried
what
doing
you?
B-roll?
Yeah,
No,
that's. Yeah, I was
no
just gonna
face,
say. Yeah,
just voice. That's also an option.
yeah. You just put
Yeah.
a camera somewhere of you
Sometimes,
standing in
I
a
mean,
forest or whatever.
yeah, social
Forest.
sometimes feels so awkward, man.
Standing in the forest.
James Hyde, waterfalls, Rob Pollard remix.
Amazing.
I liked it. Standing in the forest or something like just standing there.
I just
I
love the
liked
Oh.
it.
reverb effect.
Yeah,
Social
exactly.
feels awkward, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So Rob, thanks for creating that. I like it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's cool.
yeah,
It's
it's fun. I actually visited Ralph yesterday. We had lunch together.
Kijk.
We went over some important stuff.
Yeah, you kind
That's
of
good.
invited yourself to lunch.
Yep,
Real classy.
yep. I
But it
came.
was nice lunch.
I arrived at 9, left at 1:30 or something.
You extended your stay.
I extended my stay.
You're welcome.
I upgraded my stay, which was
Yeah.
talking about hospitality. That was
No,
great.
I mean, hey, it wasn't. It's a good lunch.
The meatballs.
The meatballs
You
in
guys
the
went to
Yeah.
gravy.
IKEA.
No, no, no.
No, 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 no.
Ralph
We
got me
have the
some meatballs.
traiteur here.
Hey.
No,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm always
Anyway,
acting like I'm so modest, but
not
in the
at all.
meantime,
Anyway, guys, my mouse keeps dying. That's great.
your mouse. Do you have a pet animal?
Mouse.
Oh,
The battery is low, so it keeps turning off. Anyway, in the last couple of episodes, we talked about Tomorrowland a couple of times and what it actually takes to get there as an artist. And one of the key things behind playing a stage like that is having a strong fan base that supports you. So, since you both, I mean, as well, have managed to play there, I'd like to dive deeper into that fan base since it's a really the key to the bigger stages, I would say. So, how do you actually build an audience like that from scratch? And what are the steps that worked for you?
Me first.
Yeah,
why are you
take it.
asking?
Well,
Um,
since that fan base, like what I'm noticing with clients as well is music is not the problem for them. You know, making music is fun, making music is great. That's what they've been working on for many years, so they have a certain skill. The songs are great. The problem comes in when we talk about fan base, as in, yes, they might have, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, millions of streams on Spotify, but there is no fan base, as in they don't sell tickets. And that is what most promoters are looking for. So, how did you manage to actually have a fan base? Can you elaborate on how you started building that?
it's the age-old question that I think still
Yeah.
struggle with today, and I think that goes like in my career at least goes up and down and up and down. In certain areas, you're more popular, so it is always difficult because even if you're doing well, let's say in Holland, you still want to also do well in Asia. So it's something that I think you need to keep pushing yourself and try and find the answer because what works now doesn't work tomorrow. But how I did it is I made sure that I had a network of producers that we were all supporting each other, and I think that's of course what we're trying to build with artist coaching, and with the other DJs where you could kind of rely on each other and ask for advice. Like I said, I was calling to Ralph earlier for some advice. That kind of stuff helps you like grow and like kind of make choices, and then upon then you need a little bit of luck here and there, but then at least you're moving forward, I think.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the fan base. As in, one of the things
No,
I
but
want.
what he says is actually really helpful because this is
Huh?
the practice. No, but what you said is like
Someone
a
clip
real. No, but it's an obvious open door. Like, oh, you need fan base so you can get big bookings. Yeah, duh. And how do you get there? I mean, in hindsight, we can and evaluate all the successes like known artists have and see certain points where they got it from. You told me you have clients, and apparently they make really great music, but still it doesn't work. But is it who judges what is great music? And I think nowadays, especially with social media, we all have a chance of having shit heard by a lot of people without an intermediary like a label or whatever. I mean, we can get that power, but how do you do that? And that's the hard thing, because in hindsight we can all see what worked for somebody else, but beforehand, when it's a blank slate and you're like
Yeah.
a dude or a girl who makes music, and let's say it is good music, okay, what do you then? Do you do then? And how are you going to position yourself? But then we can be, there's all these things possible. And let's say I'm a starting artist and I'm going to get seen kissing with Brad Pitt. That will get me known. Hey, it's a good tactic. Let's go. But is it what I want and how I want to position myself or whatever? What do I want to be known for? And
Mhm.
oh, dude, it's not a simple question.
No,
It's this
it's a
is
very
the key
broad,
essence.
it's a very broad thing. But let's start at the basics. Like when you were starting out,
No,
how
but
did you?
the thing, yeah, but you can be really strategic about it, or just go about your business and see whatever happens, being the
Sure.
musician, and be a little bit strategic because, and then we get in where what I think is always good, getting into contact with other artists. But and if I'm finishing a track, a certain little tweaks can define if uh, artist X will support it or artist Y may support it, and then I can make little strategic choices in kind of those nuances. Because to be honest, if you play 147 BPM or 150 BPM, yeah, who cares, man? It's just 3 BPM, but it can make a little bit difference in who's gonna support your shit. And um, yeah, for the rest, man, this is basically it nowadays. It's so freaking, man, can
Yeah,
make
but
you go
as
all
you
fucked
said,
up.
talking about that fan base, it's this very vague thing that everyone talks about. Like, yeah, you should need a fan base, but there are some practical, strategic things that you have done in your career which got you there. And one of the things, the very first step that you took was you managed to get people to listen to your music. And back then, it was mainly through labels. Like that was a big stage for us back then. But how would that be now? Like, how would you get people to listen to your music if you are that nobody, that person that has to start without a fan base? How do you even
Other
get people?
artists
Yeah,
get
so hang
support.
around with the right people. Is that the answer?
Also, yeah, just mingle, network, try to get into contact, go on social media, be responsive, give praise to other artists that you like, whoa, you've seen something, you heard something, cool track, dude, cool track,
Yeah.
chick, whatever, doesn't matter so much, but yeah, just be around in the world, and then try to do your own creative vision,
Yeah.
and see where it gets you. And then on the other end, then you can go into depth, like, okay, I need working hours or not to get my stuff done and all that kind of stuff. But getting yourself heard, I mean, who are you going to be as a, do you want to do dances on TikTok? Fine by me. If that's is who you are, yeah, why not? Make
Yeah.
funny videos. That helps a lot, And if you're a funny person who likes to do that kind of stuff, yeah, let's do it. Can all help. But
One
it's
one
like beforehand, like, what do you do? Yeah.
one framework that I made throughout the years to make this a bit more clearer for artists is to talk in front stage and backstage terms, as in a lot of artists only work on the front stage, as in they do things built for the front stage, so for the audience, like they make music, they post content, all that stuff is done because they want to reach an audience and build that fan base there. But what a lot of artists forget is the backstage, as in the meeting the promoters, meeting the artists, building the connections right there, because that is, if I look back at my career, that has been one of the keys into making bigger steps, like connecting with the right people, building relationships. And sure, your music has to be good, and sure, you shouldn't be acting, or it should be building real connections, but you should spend time with those people, because in the end, you kind of need them in some kind of way.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a two-way street.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's what Jay is talking about as well, like the fact that you hang with the right people back then, or at least try to connect with the right people.
Yeah, and
um,
that's why I said I think that's really good advice to just talk about it, because we all don't have the knowledge right there, but
Yeah.
you can learn from everybody's insight, whether it's through experience or something they read about. It can all help, and through that you'll find your own way, or it can help you find your own way. And finding your way, you're gonna pivot like 10 times anyway, man. That's
yeah,
music also. You're gonna
Yeah.
be like, first you look that way, you like that, and then like, oh shit, that's also
And
exists.
also
And then yeah.
think about for you who the right people are. I think for you, if you're a beginning artist, let's say, or an artist, who the right people are, because of course you want like the popular DJs and to get them to play your music and see your music, hear your music, but also around you is where you can find the same kind of drive in people. And if you have that same kind of drive with someone, you can help each other, and you can become bigger together. You can get more done or bounce ideas off each other. And I think that's sometimes overlooked, especially in this digital age. And maybe it's also like because back 15 years ago, we were like, we didn't have all this TikTok, and it's kind of, you had to ask someone, hey, what are you doing, what did you do this weekend, because they didn't post about it on social media. And I think now it's like you kind of follow someone and you think you're up to date with them, but they have no idea that you are looking at it or something in a way. So it's kind of like actually mingle, actually talk to them. And I myself also sometimes then talk to someone again after a while. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been seeing all your stuff, but then I'm thinking like I should have just responded to all those stories I've seen and just be like, hey, that's awesome, to keep that connection. And
yeah,
but that's hard in a world with all this social media. And I think when you look at the question like about the fan base, actual fan base, I think that's always kind of a consequence of being a good artist. And like it's a kind of something hard to focus on, but also do make time for people that DM you, even if they can't mean anything for you. I think I've always um, tried that. And I think try everybody now to DM me. I will try to actually respond to you. And but that's something that I think is important, and that can help you get people to stick around for longer, and maybe not their whole life, but for a few years. So building your fan base, I guess.
this is what I kind of got throughout the years, as in building an audience, you should see that differently than building a fan base. It's two different types of strategic things. It's two different things at all. As in, building an audience can be done by releasing your music, getting your music supported, posting content, and trying to make sure that it performs as well as possible so that you reach more people. That's the audience side. You make people aware of the fact that you exist, right? You try to get their attention in some kind of way. And you build the fan base by showing who you are as a person and what kind of music you like and what kind of interests you have. And by doing that consistently, you build trust over time because people know what to expect from you, right? It's like if I go to a Bassjacker show, I just know what to expect. If I go to Jay Hardway, I know what to expect because I've been following him for this amount of years, months, weeks. I've seen his content, I've heard his music, I've seen his personality, and that should be constant, right? It's the same with the people in your life. If somebody's not constant with how they are to you, you just don't trust them, right? If at one moment they laugh at you and they like you, and at the other moment they just ignore you, you don't trust them. And that's what's the same thing with building a fan base. You should be consistent with who you are, and that's what needs to happen on the fan base side of things. And that's probably the thing that we might have not realized that we've actually done as an artist over the past 15 years, but you guys have been constant, right? You still are the guys that you were 15 years ago.
It sounds so boring, man.
It is, but yeah,
It's not a good thing.
The boring perfect.
happy in a boring life.
Yeah.
I always say that with like people sometimes ask me. People always ask me. No, that never mind.
I always get the
It's just such
question.
a social media slogan. People always ask me about my skincare routine, but then ask me about how do I get my own sound, and I'm like, I never thought about it. And now, true, I think maybe I could have thought about it a bit more tactically. But in all the music I make, I get a lot of feedback like, oh, it really sounds like a U track, like a J Hardway track. And I think there's still some tactics to be had, but to find your sound, you also need to work towards kind of what you feel and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. True. No, I think that kind of, to me,
Actually, you're wearing Croyes.
yeah. But I have this for a year already.
No, man, you're influenced by me.
No, I'm not. I
By my canister.
I told it when I saw your bottle. I was like, hey, I've got 2 shirts of that brand. I didn't even knew the brand.
Dude, it's okay.
You probably have been influenced by me, but that's all good.
Guys, we have to be angry at Josh. He's late. He said, "Sorry, I'm late." Not allowed,
Josh,
man.
Josh.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
Set the alarm, just like all the others do.
I was late, so I.
Yeah, you were late. It looks like 24 Karat has something to celebrate. What did he say? I just want to share that I released on Revealed Main. That's nice, man. Congratulations.
Boom.
Let's go.
A release on Revealed Main label. That's nice. Congratulations on that. Who's else?
And is it then under which name is it? Because
I think it's on 24 Karat. It's my guess.
Yeah.
Can you look it up?
Oui.
I see all the other people coming in late. Rave is here, 24 Carats, Lion Harris, Josh, Legend. What's up? Dude, my mouse keeps killing. Anyway, let's...
Your mouth keeps killing?
Yeah, no.
What?
My mouse keeps just shutting off because the battery's low.
Oh, your mic.
My mouse.
But it's not out then. Because I don't see it yet. Or I'm looking at
he just signed it, I guess.
Oh,
I think
sweet.
he just signed it. Yeah. Hey, quick break. If you're an artist who's serious about growing his career, but you feel stuck and you don't know what to do, you feel overwhelmed, that's exactly what we help you with at Artist Coaching. At Artist Coaching, we offer one-on-one personal coaching for DJs and music producers who want to turn their passion into a sustainable career. Whether you're struggling with finishing your music, building your brand, or just figuring out how to stand out, we've been there and we can help. If that sounds like you, head over to artistcoaching.nl and book your free intake call so we can check where you're at in your career and see if we can help you. All right, back to the episode.
Well, it's
Anyway,
quite an
guys.
accomplishment, man.
Are you ready
Yes.
for... As always, we take on questions from the community that you can send in throughout the week in the Discord. And as
Now
always,
somebody asks, like, how can I build a huge audience? Or
No way.
Fanbase.
Oh, you
then
mean
I'm
in the
done.
Discord? Yeah, that would be fun. Let's go to the first question from Music IDs. I've only been making music for a few months, and recently someone told me of one of my songs sounded too mainstream. As a new artist, I'm not really sure how to take that. Should I see it as something positive, like the song is accessible, or negative, like it's not original enough? How do artists find the right balance between creating something that feels authentic and also connects with listeners? That
Dude,
is the
again,
million,
such a question, man.
that's the $1,000,000
My
question right
brain
there.
isn't that big.
Make a bunch of stuff and send it out, and you'll hopefully get some feedback, good or bad, and you'll fight your way to the nose and
I
the
mean,
back.
we do sometimes here in the studio also say, well, it sounds too obvious or too mainstream. It's not, doesn't sound like newish or cool. So in that respect, I kind of follow. But yeah, it's also a little bit in the ear of the beholder. And yeah, who listens to it? What's mainstream, you know?
I
But
think
yeah,
we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with that Afrojack clip. Do you remember that? That he said like how he looked at that was he tried to make songs which are 80% authentic him, so just whatever he likes to make, and then he
Mhm.
tries to add 20% of what already works. So let's say the commercial layer on top of it. And I think that's a good way to approach it, as in that way you still are authentic and still make something you want to make, but you also, if you want to make money from this, it does make sense to kind of add a layer to it that just seems to work, right? That adds some few tricks and here and there that just seems to work.
Yeah, you want
Um,
to enhance your possibility of success if that's what
yeah,
you're
and
aiming
there
for.
are certain things that just work. So I think that was a good strategy from him that you could try out. So the 80% and 20% rule there. Yeah, that's probably the best answer I can give. As in, there is no golden answer, I would say. At least that's what
So
I think.
we're useless for you.
Useless crap.
Yes.
But there's no such thing as too mainstream. I think. I think that's
Martin
Too
yeah.
late.
Garrix sounds really mainstream and he's killing it.
And it's also like it's not mainstream until it is mainstream. So even techno people are now being accused of being mainstream, while like 10 years ago they were super underground.
Also
So
depends on who you ask, right? So if I would ask my parents if Martin Garrix is mainstream, I'm not sure what they will answer. So really depends on who you ask.
yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah, I would just stick to whatever you like to make and try to enhance that with a little bit of things that seem to work. I think that's a good thing to do. Next question is from Earn. Not
Earn.
sure, not sure if it's been spoken about so specifically before, but how do you get your very first gigs? And I'm asking as if I would have zero connections, zero friends in the industry. I'm just a random guy, and let's say I want to get in touch with the nightclubs that are near me.
First work on a sales pitch. Who are you and why should they book you?
Yeah, and I think that. But what I also think, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago as well. It's all about just going into that club and having the talk, right? Like going in and like cold sales, I would say. Going in,
Which is
delivering.
hard, huh?
It's
Cold
hard.
sales approach is the hardest there is.
It's hard. Like delivering your mixtape. Try to be like a very open and communicative person, as in, yeah,
No, but you I mean, you gotta have something to show for. and you got to convince them that you will fit their night, their, let's say, their standard Saturday night, and you know what the people want and can add something extra. And then, yeah, it's all about what do you have to do to be given that chance. Can even
True.
ask them just point blank. But yeah, it's that simple. Try to imagine yourself being a club owner and the random dude. Was this Ern asking the question, or
Yeah.
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 an Ern comes up to you and asks, "Can I play here?" Why would I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why would I
yeah,
pay for
just
you?
Yeah.
Good question.
or even
And
let you do it for free. I mean,
well,
it's yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
next thing he
they would
asked.
probably ask like, "Are you any good? Is there a set of you? Is there a live set I can see that you can actually mix?
Yeah.
Is there any gigs you've done before?" That's what they would ask. I would also approach it through other DJs. Like I started out by a friend of a friend that was DJing at like small school parties and weddings and whatever, and I just said, "Hey man, can I just join for a night and I'll carry your stuff, and I can just
yeah,
hopefully." See how you work. I didn't even ask him like, could I DJ? But then eventually, ended up also some parties like I was allowed to DJ, um, like mix a record or something or try. And then from there, it really started. It really started because then you do that, then you get your own set, then you reach out to other DJs because you get speak to more people, and that's only from getting to know one
Yeah.
DJ. And for me, it was the biggest thing because he's the DJ. In hindsight, it's like it's really small, and he was like actually super excited that someone was interested.
Yeah.
Um, so that's also good to know. But if you go from the DJs, then you can get some experience. You can hear about it. People like to talk about themselves anyway. So if you ask a lot of questions, are interested in the DJing thing, you can get some common ground,
Definitely.
become
yeah.
friends, learn some skills, use those skills to sell yourself to the local nightclub.
Yeah.
That's the approach I would
Definitely.
have.
And one of the follow-up questions he has is about that fee, as in, I also read that people say, just shift. I also read that people say never do anything for free, even when starting out. But with the current market, how every second person wants a music career, is it really so bad to offer a DJ for free? Honestly, and I know that Mouse doesn't agree with this, but I do believe that it's a good thing for you to say like, hey, I will do my first show for free, and if you like it, then we could talk about a certain fee. But sure, why wouldn't you do your
It's
first show for
yeah.
free?
In the beginning, it shouldn't per
Yeah,
se be a question. I think what we talked about with the whole Dead Mouse thing and Tomorrowland thing was, as an established artist,
yeah,
then you're not gonna go do something for free easily. Depends, maybe, there might be things I would
yeah.
do
But
for
as
free.
a starting artist, if you can get your foot between the door by doing a show for
Yeah,
free,
yeah,
then sure. But I would not play there every week for free. Like there should be a point where you start to make at least some sort of money. So maybe
yeah.
it's gas money or whatever you want to, travel money or whatever you want to have. But make a deal to say like, hey, I'll give you 1 or 2 nights for free, so you can see how I play and what the experience
But
is.
don't do that right off the bat. Just get that one night, and you're
Yeah,
in. You're in.
exactly.
You have the contact. You then can
Yeah,
talk to them, and but
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Next question is from Klaus. Um,
Close.
it's a few. It's a parted question. Recently, since a year or so, I've been producing in a second genre. It's a side project, which first was when I felt like I started producing it, but now it's more part of my music production routine. I want to release that as well, but I don't want to interfere it with my main genre. Any tips in do's or don'ts?
Yeah, I kind of don't get the question.
He's been working on creating a second genre. So he has been in hardstyle, and now he's doing a more raw hardstyle version. Would you say
Mm.
that it's smart to release that under the same name or create like an alias or something?
Depends if you're doing big shows, and people know what to expect. I mean, you do have a certain image you bring over under your, let's call it the old fashion name. I mean, people know your act and then also act accordingly. then it might be wise to start a new alias. But if you're just beginning and you can still pivot a little bit, but it would be wise to make sure that you extend some clarity what you stand for. And let's say people book you, yeah, are they gonna get the hardstyle set or the raw style
Yeah.
set? Or yeah, that can of course be a thing. But if your thing is doing raw style and hardstyle in one, that's also cool.
Yeah. I
But
think
it should be clear. Yeah.
I think it mainly has to do with how far the genres are far from each other, as in hardstyle and raw hardstyle. Like for some people, that might sound the exact same unless you're in the scene. So if it would be hip hop and dance, for example, that's a way different genre, right? But hardstyle and raw hardstyle could be doable under the same name. And especially in the early phases of your career, you could give it a try to see how the audience deals with it.
Yeah. In the
But do
whole music spectrum of dance, raw style and hard style, they're neighbors, man.
pretty close to
So
each other.
and
Yeah,
there can be some fusion. If
yeah,
it would be like Afro house, which might be sometimes 110 BPM, and raw style, which is approximately 180, kind of a big
that's
deal.
different. Yeah. So keep that in mind, but do keep in mind as well that if you already have some sort of fan base, that you want to stay close to what you've been doing, as
Yeah.
in stay
But I
consistent.
do know people in hardstyle and the harder styles, they can be a bit protective about their genres, and they're really passionate fans as well.
Yeah,
So also tread wisely.
exactly. The next question comes from him. I hope you're doing well. Had a couple of questions for Ralph, if that's okay.
I like
Ha-
that name, him. Every time you mention it, like a question from him,
him, yeah,
kind of sounds like it's God, you know? It's
yeah, it's
him.
the guy.
Yeah.
How did Ralph find Renze?
How did I find Renze? Well, funny story. Me and Renze, we started working together already 10 years ago, and he made a remix for us. And
Hmm,
then I heard, because then he was 17, and I thought to myself, he was working together with Seam back then as Reese. And I thought to myself, they make nice music, and let's stay into contact. And then throughout this whole he was still in school, and then he went to the university, and he was always welcome in my studios to work on stuff. And some point he went solo, and I always supported him and doing his shit. And at some point it grew out. We were sitting together, and we're like, and we're working so much together. We're like, let's do this kind of official.
yeah,
And now we always work together.
nice. Okay.
Yeah. But
Follow-up
yeah, it was
question.
true, a remix. I heard the remix, and it was a Savior remix, and it sounded so awesome. Eventually, even Kashmir jumped on the remix and did a few adjustments.
Hmm,
He also liked it. It was a really good remix.
okay. So follow-up question. I see most co-producers or ghost producers getting paid per track, but for someone like Chesto or Geta with full teams around them, is still per track, or are those producers on full-time salaries?
I really don't know.
Really depends, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine they are on a regular retainer, like a salary or
Yeah.
something. I mean, or else it's being a producer can be really challenging. I mean, you never know if a project's gonna land. You know, are you gonna get royalties of it? I mean, a lot of the projects you work on, they people then the whole marketing thing starts to roll. You know, who's gonna do this track? And sometimes, eventually, it never will see the light of day, and it just ends up getting killed. For
Hmm.
that reason, there's always a kill fee. But yeah, it can be stressful if people then decide like, oh, after 6 months we're not going to do anything with it. Yeah, big yeah, scratch through all your earnings, because yeah, you're gonna make less then.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if I would do only that, then I would prefer getting a salary and maybe yeah, or if you're more of a gambler,
Royalties.
yeah. But I think it just depends.
Yeah. Okay. Question from Melodramatic. I am coming to ADE this year and many said to load the USB sticks to share. However, my gut tells me it's not important as I can always send a link nowadays as I'm more focused on getting to know all of my peers and showing support versus trying to push my own music. What are your thoughts on this artist coaching team? I guess you're right, man. I think you're right. As in,
No, also bring it. Just man,
you
every
could
angle
bring
is
it.
one.
Yeah, you definitely could
Yeah.
bring it, but it's to me ADE is more about building those connections and yeah, making memories, meeting people. Yeah, as you say, like the USB sticks fly around, like it's insane how much demos are being thrown around there. So yeah, sure, it's an extra option, but I would focus on yeah hanging around with the right people, as we started this conversation with. That's just
Definitely,
very
but
important.
it's still bring it. I mean,
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
never know.
you never
And
know.
make
That's
sure it's
true.
a cool USB stick
I
that
saw this clip
nobody will
from
ever forget.
Diplo last week where he was. You never know if it's true,
Checking
right? But
demos.
where he was listening to a lot of demos on USB sticks. So people still do it. I saw a question in the chat from, well, not necessarily. Yeah, it's a question from Pepe. I feel that being on a top label doesn't help anymore. Has the era of record labels dominating big festival stages come to an end?
Kinda.
Kinda. Yep.
It's
It's, yeah.
yeah.
Tipping point.
Yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, 10 years ago, 12, when you released on Spinnin' main label, it would get you some bookings and it would get you some spotlight. And Spinnin', yeah, I mean, what they had going on back then was like really amazing. And they really stood for something and they were like the main drivers of EO, of the whole the house boom, the EDM boom we had back then, and nowadays we don't have labels are not that important anymore.
No.
And in that respect, yes, their power, if we want to call it like that, has definitely declined. And as a stepping stone, it's yeah. I mean, it was also really convenient for you as an artist. If you could convince them, you would
But
get
it's
an
it
audience.
used to be also more of a quality stamp back in the day,
Yeah.
where it was like, oh, there's a spin-in promo coming, let's check it out. And I think
Yeah.
that with not really any label anymore, that's the thing where I'm like, ooh, I need to check that out, or like it's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, I'll check it, but
I mean, to be honest, they still do cool stuff, and it's still some labels you easier check out the
yeah,
promos. I mean, still Spinnin' revealed one of the old labels. Those are the ones I usually like standardly check,
yeah.
and there's some others as well, like loads of others. Um, so it's still relevant, but less as it was. Yeah.
It's actually very interesting that you mentioned that. I've never thought about that quality stamp that you mentioned. As in, I think what might have happened throughout the years as well with those labels is that they kind of violated the trust we've had in them by releasing too much music or maybe too generic music
Yeah,
in some kind
Yeah.
of
their
way.
business model changed, and that's
Yeah.
that yeah works for them, but not for
Yeah, because if you
per
think
se
about
for us.
like X-Stone back in the days released 2 tracks a year, for example, like it was insane. When X-Stone came with a song, people were waiting in line. I'm not
They
sure how
became
much
a
they do
business.
now.
Size as well.
Size.
They all like saw the potential they had. If they amp up the volume, they have
Yeah,
more chances of a hit. And if a label is being run as a label, it makes perfectly sense that you want to amp up volume, which amps up also the chance of success.
yeah,
But what we always liked from a label, let's say it's from a bigger artist, that usually if you're released on that label, the bigger artist also played it in his or her set.
Yeah.
And but then yeah, then the label gets a label manager, and perfectly fine, which is their job, is to make the label into a success, and then they amp up the volumes,
It's
more
kind of like
releases.
what
Yeah.
happened in the medical world, where there was a new head of a big medical company, and they started buying smaller companies, got rid of the R&D departments, so no more research, but amp up the revenue and just amp up the price. It's kind of what happened. There's no more real R&D at a lot of labels, where they're like, hey, this is a beginning artist, let's develop it into a big artist. It's now just like
What's
volume,
R&D
volume,
for people who
volume,
don't know?
research and development. So
Yeah.
like that's at a label. I think a lot of labels now steer away from that. So it's
Yeah.
like they're not looking for the next Martin Garrix. They're just looking for Martin Garrix already.
Yeah.
Like
A
someone
hit.
that's already
Yeah.
established in a way, and they would never. Well, I think that Martin Garrix is so talented, they would always have signed him. But um, someone like me, I think they would have never signed in the way they signed me back then. Kind of like, well, let's see, and put time and effort into me. And I think that's a huge difference now.
Yeah. It's really that boutique kind of feeling that you're missing with labels these days, as in the velvet. What's that saying? We were talking about it yesterday as well, Ralph. Like that velvet glove handling. Like what's that
I don't
thing?
know what you're talking about, man.
Chat, please help us. Like, what's that saying in English when you're being treated well, like with a velvet glove or something? Um, that's what we miss with labels these days. Like you're
It was
more
not
of a,
gonna come back. I
Hey,
think the whole.
Joey.
I think
you're
it's
just a file. You're not necessarily an artist that they build on. It's more like you're just another track that they put out, and that's a shame to be honest. So I
It's
wonder
like
if
what
they're
they just don't think, what can we get out of you in 2 years? They just, what can we get out of you now, right now? If it's nothing, then
yeah
good luck.
Yeah, okay, now, but now we make these the all the labels into this big evil. But
The
I mean,
suits,
it's
man.
it's the fuck the
exactly.
suits.
It's
Now
a
look at me
fucking
being now
suit.
all like gentle, going about them with a velvet glove. But no, the thing is, I get it. There's somebody
Yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
put on the label, and if you only do 8 or 10 tracks a year, man, you're not even gonna get back the salary of the person who is the label
Yeah,
manager.
that's
and
the
and that's
thing.
the thing. They need a little
Yeah,
bit of revenue, so the label kind of is like this autonomous organism that upholds its own shit, and that's all the incentives. But to be honest, if I would make tens of millions, I would be like, fuck my label if it doesn't make any profits.
yeah.
But
Let's
I'm not
just
saying it's.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad from the labels. It's just the way it is. It's also, look at the dance
You
market
know
now.
which label I really like, and that's
Hardway Music.
man, dude. If only they release good music now,
Talking
but for the
about
rest they're
Velvet
perfect.
Glove, like
No,
that's
no,
it
no.
right
I
there.
actually like what
Boutique
Maddox is
label.
doing. Like his
Who?
label,
Who?
Maddox,
Oh,
Aesthetic. He doesn't release too many stuff, and what he releases is not per se stuff that he would make himself. And I think that's really awesome, because there's another side of Maddox that he kind of also shows there, and I think he's really like nailing it. That's for me,
yeah.
that would be something I would do also.
I
And I think, but he's one of the few who does it in that way.
I think what needs
And
to
yeah,
happen is that bigger artists should start their own labels, but within mind that it should not necessarily has to make money, but more is
yeah,
like
no,
a
but
part
what I
of their
also
brand
like, yeah, what I
and
also like
investment.
is I really get the feeling at Ecstatic that Maddox really curates all the music himself. That's my perception of it. And if it's not, that's also fine. But I think it is, and I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Because if I look at Ecstatic, then I know I really have the feeling like that's what Maddox is about. And Maddox is not only about the music he only himself makes. There's more to it, and that's what he does over there, and I really like that. And for me, if you get the chance, that for me that would also be the thing that I would like to do, and I think it actually makes his brand so much stronger. It's really cool.
It's true, and I think that needs to happen in a bigger scale, as in more artists need to make that decision and say, I'm going to extend my brand with a label, and it's not because it's an extra business model. No, it's an extension of my own branding.
But also as an expression, it's not per se about being a brand, but also, I mean, if he feels like, what he's more about techno, but what I see on his label sometimes as that hard house flavor. Maybe he doesn't want to be that as an artist himself, but he likes to play it. I can also see it in his sets. And that's what's so cool about it. And it's not also about being a brand, but it's just an extension, an expression. He likes it and he wants to show that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
To
true.
be
And
honest, Martin Garrix also, I kind of like Stamped in that respect as well.
yeah,
Because,
Stamped is pushing Marrow pretty well, right?
well, they're pushing a lot of artists. And, but I always like that you can kind of say this is a stamped sound, a stamped track. But Martin himself wasn't per se making that kind of music all the time. I mean, he did a lot of other stuff, but I still like that. It was kind of an extension of who he is.
True. Got it.
Maybe. I mean, I'm just guessing.
No, but I think that is part of how we've got here, as in like the business models of the labels have changed over the years. Probably also because the income has changed over the years. The royalty percentages from Spotify and stuff went down, so they kind of had to make a business decision there. But that led to us losing trust in the quality that they have been giving us. And I guess that's why we're here, as in why labels just don't
I
matter
do
that
feel
much
that
anymore.
Revealed really has found its niche as well. I mean, sometimes I hear a record and I think to myself like, oh, this is really a Revealed record.
Yeah,
And I think
true.
that's also really cool. They do a lot of tracks though, but still they stand for something, something that's what I like in a label. Let's call it that.
You know what's an interesting label that is so old, but still kind of feels like this authentic niche boutique kind of label? Defected.
Man, I knew you were gonna say it, man. Defected is great.
It's
Yeah.
insane. Like they've been here for 25 years plus,
Yeah.
probably, and they
Yeah.
still put out the same kind of
Yeah.
music. You just know what to expect.
That's
Quality
super
stuff.
strong brand.
Insane. Like I've been to their events. Insane. I've listened to their music, everything they do. It's
They also really stand for something, and maybe that's
exactly.
the whole thing. The
That's the key.
ordeal is that, okay, if you're a label, you need to stand for something. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's going back to that trust, right? If I'm
If
going
you're an
to a
artist, even.
label, and as an artist as well, like you need, people will come if they know what they can expect. Like you need to be consistent with what you put out. And the fact that is probably one of the best examples, I would say.
yeah.
We do have a clip of the week this week.
Hey, I was
Oh,
just gonna
dude,
ask,
hey, come on, man.
where's the
Dude.
jingle? Where's the jingle?
I tuning it up right now.
Clip of the week.
Yeah.
Just like all the questions we take
Still
every
not
week,
there, huh?
we
Sorry.
also have a clip of the week which you can send into our Discord. If you have funny, interesting stuff you see on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever you watch, feel free to share it with us so we can check it out and maybe discuss it later on in the podcast. And this week we have another one from Skrillex. Here we go.
The more you don't think about other things and how people see you, and the more you find out who you are, and you can train your soul and your mind to be yourself as you're creating, and not try to think of anything else. That's the best. I mean, success is something you attract, not something you catch. So you have to work on really being the most to yourself. You have to connect with your music and be attracted to your that's everything. It's nothing to do with trying to catch people's attention and just working on yourself. Really, yeah. Well,
It's like the exact opposite of what I'm been saying. No, but I mean, he's not wrong, and but it's kind of abstract, and it's also it's saying something, but at the same time not saying something. But he's definitely not wrong. But yeah, in practice, it's kind of it works kind of a different way. I mean, yeah, to be honest, works out really well for him.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's like this authentic artist, one of the
Exactly.
very few.
Exactly. I think he's one
Yeah,
of the very, very few who managed to do it 100% authentically without
yeah,
adding that 20%, like
yeah.
full on 100%.
To be
Um,
honest, I don't think my brain works in the same way
Oh,
as his, and that kind of
I just think
also then you
it's
need a different approach maybe.
I just think it's very it's what he's saying is very like true or very good. It's like you shouldn't try to be something that you're not. And I think you can take inspiration from others and try to be like something that you really like or someone you really look up to. But if you try to be something that you're really not,
Yeah. There's
and I
also
had
not one way, you know. There's multiple way. I
yeah,
side more with the 80-20 rule by Afrojack then.
Me too, personally. That's more chance of winning.
But hey,
yeah, but
Skrillex
I
is
think
always
I
right
think
because look at
I think what
look at what he's
Skrillex
done.
means it more as a whole, an artist as a whole. It's not just a business. It's like a yeah. I think he means it also more like that.
Yeah.
He's not trying to technically think when he's creating.
Yeah, that's true.
And I
Yeah.
think that's also the part where he says that like when you're creating, that's also very important because I think I try when I'm creating, I'm trying to do that, what he's saying. But when I'm not creating, I'm also trying to think tactically like, hey, what now? You can't just be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I just created and now I'm done. You need to
No, yeah.
have some sort of idea how to
True.
throw it into the market.
True. By the way, Ben Singh just threw a picture in the Discord of him meeting Martin Garrix. And he says, get yourself someone that looks as you do, like I do at Martijn. And he just looks very happy.
Can we see the
Wait,
photo?
can I share Discord? Sure, I can.
If he looks more in love with Martin than he did with me, then I'm done. Oh, dude.
There you go. Can I click on it? Yeah, there you go. And you met him
Dude.
at the Creamfields last week, I guess it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He looks like a party animal, man.
And
You
he
do
met
need to
you
wear
as
some
well, right?
sunscreen, man. Or it
Yeah,
was
we met
warm, but
each other at Tomorrowland, which was nice.
All right,
please
tomorrow.
do wear sunscreen. I think you're a bit sunburned or you're just really hot, but important,
No, man, it looks fucking amazing, dude.
It's just a
Yeah,
bit
it'll
red.
turn
That's like,
brown next
no,
day.
my like honest advice. Like, man, skin cancer isn't
No, I
Guys,
go
mean, but
brown
come
with it.
on, we're not that
do
wise.
we have
It's
something to
just
chill?
good. It's just good advice. Wear sunscreen, man. If you go out, man.
There's a song about it, right? The Wear
Yeah,
Sunscreen. It's an old song.
it's
Yeah?
an old song.
Do we have something to chill?
Do we have something to chill? Do you know we actually postponed a release called Fuego, but I'm gonna plan when I'm done here with all of you. I'm gonna make a new release schedule and plan in some stuff. And the album is really coming, and it's gonna mark like what we do right now, what we stand for, and if you don't like it, you can just fuck off.
Yeah. Be like Skrillex.
Yeah, man. Fuck you.
Exactly. And you, Jay?
I'm going to China tomorrow. Playing in
Nice.
Dongguan for a festival.
Don Juan.
Yeah, almost. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I just have a lot of new music to play, and
It's cool, man. I feel like China is like being a little bit back, you know. China was a lot of people didn't play China for the last couple of years. I mean, they opened up only recently in 2023 and never came back the way it was. They also have some few economic difficulties, although that's what we read and get told. Maybe there's somebody listening here that can elaborate on that. But I see more and more people going back to China and play there, and it looks amazing. Marlon was there also last weekend, and it looked really cool.
I
Yeah.
I always get a few DMs and on my WeChat a few messages when I come back to China. So that's really like cool. And they're like, "Hey, we're really waiting for you." And one time a festival didn't really go as planned, and there weren't many people. And then people on my WeChat and on my Instagram were like apologizing to me. We hope you can still come back. Like as fans, they were like, "We're so sorry,
Ah,
not
that's
giving you
cool, man.
the good experience," which I was super appreciative of.
And you're
So
using
book me more.
and you're using book me like a
Me
sign.
more.
Book me.
Yeah. But and you're using WeChat for Asian countries or
China is
China.
like, that's their WhatsApp, and I use it also to talk to artists, drivers, promoters,
Everything. Yeah.
stuff
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Okay. For
Okay.
everyone in the chat right now, if you're still listening and you're coming to ADE, make sure to grab your tickets for our event, which will be on Friday.
I have something to shill actually.
Oh, now we go.
I think tomorrow we're gonna we have an MK Dior remix.
Mm-hmm.
Armin played it at Tomorrowland. It's really cool. You can check it out in his set. But if you want it, you need to get over to our SoundCloud and download it. And also, with putting out free stuff, don't mind sharing it, man, because
Sharing is
gotta get it
caring.
out there. And if you share something of us, maybe
Yeah.
we share something of you. It's like quid pro quo.
Yeah. And
And
while you're
no, but
there,
if you like it, and that's also the message for everybody, don't take anything for granted. If you like something, share it with everybody that you like it, and that's how the cookie crumbles.
how the cookie crumbles. That's right. And don't forget to get your tickets from ADE. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a message, share this podcast with your friends, family, and like-minded other artist friends.
Yeah, and give us some feedback, man. If we're doing shit, or you want to hear more of Joey like we do,
Yeah.
because everything he
Knowledge bomb.
says, man, it's crazy.
So that. And don't forget to check out artistcoaching.nl for all the coaching services that we offer. Might be interesting to you. So we will be back next week, Wednesday, same time, same day, same YouTube channel. See you then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye bye.